Neat,
I'm Ross.
and this is
The Bourbon Barrel.
And today we have something.
Today it's a blind.
It's a blind. It's not something special. It's just a blind. We don't know.
Yeah.
We've got our OG Buff Trace, just the regular standard Buffalo Trace bottle, 90 proof, right? Okay, just double check.
To my knowledge.
That checks out. We have the Bowman Brothers,
Yep.
which is a 90 proof Bowman release, which I'm not familiar with their distillery, but we've had them many times before.
Yeah. And we're fans. We've enjoyed them. I said before
Some
this
more
was
than
one
others.
big surprise for me. Like one of the
Yeah.
biggest surprises since because I had never heard of it. And
Also a 90 proofer.
yep. We're doing 90s blind.
Yeah, this is a 90s blind, so
It's
prepare
awesome.
yourselves.
That's right.
And lastly, do you want to give them this one? Because I've never heard nor seen this because it's technically not
Right.
labeled as a bourbon.
Right. We're into the Tennessee whiskey category that checks all the boxes of bourbon with the charcoal filtration process. So, the Greenbrier just came out to us around here. I just recently seen this bottle for the first time in the past, like I told you, a couple weeks, month maybe or something. It's in mid 30s. It's nothing outlandish, or maybe even 30. And it's the story. So the story goes that it's descendants of the original Nelson Greenbrier, great grandsons or something now that reopened it. It says on the bottle, produced, distilled right there in Greenbrier, Tennessee or whatever town it is. So apparently it's not sourced. And the interesting story I told him was that when Nelson Greenbrier tried to bring his family over from Scotland, he had made a lot of money from making soap and some other things. I can't remember every little detail, but he turned all of his money into gold, like gold. I want to say bullion. Is that still the right
Yeah,
way to say that?
that's
They're
correct.
bricks. And he had a custom suit made. So all the gold was in the suit he was wearing on the boat to bring him over in the late 1800s, mind you, to America. There was a big storm. People fell overboard. He fell overboard with his incredibly heavy suit full of gold and sank and died. So his family, a lot of his family, I think somebody else might have perished in said storm, but a lot of his family made it. And I think Prohibition sort of shut down this distillery. I think they brought it back from everything I recall reading. Please fact check me. Let me know if I'm missing a little something I didn't do where I wrote it this week because we've been very busy. So, but that's a pretty close, And
Yeah.
and to touch on the Buffalo Trace, just last week we did a benchmark for the first time.
Yep.
So if you go back and watch our budget bourbon episode, we didn't hate it as much as we kind of thought we not hate it, but
Right. Yeah, no, it wasn't as bad as we
and
initially
that's
had believed it to
like
be.
one step under this,
Yeah.
like the lowest point. This is the next, lowest, I guess. I don't know,
Yep.
right? So yeah, but we love this. We're mixed on this, and so we've both had both of these.
Yep.
Neither one of us has tasted this ever, and this
This
is
is
kind of
true.
how we've done some of our blinds.
Yeah.
So we don't know what this is. We know these. You don't really care for this that much usually. I
Not
actually
usually.
do. We both like this. So there's a lot of differences in this one, and and we haven't had anything to drink today.
That's true.
We always try to do blinds as the first thing we record when we record.
Yes, the only
So
thing I've had today is a couple goldfish. It was delightful.
I hope they were crackers or pretzels and
Yes.
not just out of
I
the
just
yeah
deep into an aquarium.
yeah. I can totally see you like in some frat house being like yes. Do you think Taco Bell's open? Like when he gets in the back of the truck and he's naked, and the girl ladies start moving because he's
We're
back.
going drinking in the corner.
Straight up. That's 90s. Big 90s or early 2000s?
That's early 2000s.
Is it? Okay, darn it. That's okay. Anyway, so we're all lined up. Do you want to go left to right, right to left, up to down, middle to left?
Our left, they're right.
Okay,
So
they're always right. So
true.
you're the
Good
internet,
job.
so you're right.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go left to right, huh?
Yes.
All right, left,
So
huh?
hopefully these are in a different order because the last two we've done we put in the same order.
All I know is the order yours are in when it comes time
Yeah.
to
Yep.
discern it. So I have no idea. But I'd like to say right off the bat, and
Ooh.
the only way you could maybe see it on my side a little bit, but you could see yours is they're very similar in color. Now we're doing 90s. It's
Yes.
literally
They're all
90, 90, and this
90s.
is 91. But we were, trying to do the thing that we do where we throw one in and neither one of us has ever had. So, but yeah, if you just stop and look at the colors, they're very similar.
That is very interesting. So I just nosed all three.
Oh, okay.
This one is a lot more bitter than the other two. These ones I'm getting a lot of sweet corn smell in,
Right.
which is interesting.
Well,
No.
I mean, The Bowman brothers, the Bowman line, the Bowman
Yeah.
distillery in Virginia, is rumored to
Mhm.
source their product from Buffalo Trace. There's a lot of stuff online saying they do that they put it in more casks, that they do something to it, that they just take it and bottle it themselves and don't do anything to it. I'm not 100% sure. Well, the one is the port finish, so maybe
Yep.
they,
Put in a port wine cask. Yeah.
yeah. But again, it made it so good for us when we tried it, and it's such a low price point. This is like 27 bucks.
Yep.
This is like, I mean, when you do find it, it's still only like 30, 55
Yeah.
or something,
25 to 30 bucks for
yeah.
750 or whatever.
Because again, we don't have price gouging stores, which is awesome.
Yes. So
So,
here's to you, local stores. Thank you.
yeah, couple, well, hmm.
Interesting. I don't. I'm not going to be able to tell them apart from the nose. I can tell you that because they're all similar in proof. Whereas the one time we did it, we had like one that was like 120, and the other two
Oh,
were like.
so obvious,
It
yeah.
was like I was like, dude, that is gasoline compared to these two.
No, but that's like that's the whole yeah.
Hmm.
That's interesting. I don't know. I'm not noticing a lot of nose
The
difference.
only one that I could tell a discernible note difference was this one, where this one was a lot harsher than the other
I
two
don't
for
even
some
have your
reason.
results in front of me. I'm not even gonna look until we
That's
get
fair.
closer. Because if I start moving it around, I'll accidentally leave it sitting here and you'll know. So,
I'll know.
because I'm not.
Oh, I'll
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Not a lot of differences either, to be honest, on the noses. But I'm not great with the nose either. Like I try so hard. We got to get that aroma kit someday. I
Yeah.
mean, again, it's expensive, but we can go in together on it and get it.
Feel free to like and subscribe if you think we should do the nose kit from
Yeah.
who is that?
But Bourbon Real Talk
Bourbon Real Talk. So they have this like 200 different scents or whatever.
or
No,
something.
yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, we can get it, open it up on camera, try it out, and see, record our experience with it. And
Yeah.
if
So
you're into that kind of thing, put a comment down below and say, yeah, do that.
yeah, like and subscribe, and we're gonna put a dime in our subscriber jar if you do, and
It's
it's gonna
true.
go to Wounded Warriors or a veteran charity or something.
Yep,
Anyway,
we'll get there.
nonetheless,
All right, now
I'm
standing.
gonna start my sipping in the
That's
left, right?
cheers.
Hey, cheers. That was a louder clink than I was hoping.
Okay, that's sweet. Sweeter than I would have expected from the nose.
I mean, I don't know. It's good. I don't. I'm not immediately thinking, well, that's terrible. Um, the one thing I can say about the Buffalo Trace, because we just did the benchmark, was that it's the same mash bill as the benchmark, which is 75% corn, 10% rye, 15% barley, is the same as benchmark as it is for Buffalo Trace, Stags, and Eagle Rares.
Hmm.
So it is a high corn, like and then barley is the flavor grain for Buff Trace. So now again, that's just something that clicked because we had just done the one with
Okay.
benchmark. So now,
So on the second sip, I'm not noticing as much sweetness. I'm noticing more of a grain. I'm not sure what grain, but the sweetness mellowed very quickly, and then I don't know.
I'm yeah, I had a little bit of a second sip that was a little more bitter,
Hmm.
just a little bit more bitter. Not getting a lot of ethanol at all. I don't know that we're gonna get a lot
I'm
of
getting
ethanol on 90s.
I'm
Too
getting a
much.
little bit of tingle on the tongue.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tongue tingle.
tingle tongue.
Tongue.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, yeah. Never mind.
Pick
Never mind.
a pick the peck of pickled peppers.
I'm not even going down that road. I'm not doing that. You do that part.
Fair enough. I'm not the fig.
Rails, yeah.
I'm not the fig plucker. I'm not the
It's
fig plucker's son,
I,
but I'll pluck figs until the fig plucker comes.
oh my god. Oh my god. Last night you was sending me things about Leroy Jenkins. I don't even know what that is. I
Oh
bet half of
man,
you people know what it is. I don't or
you
more.
know,
Yeah.
everyone knows Leroy.
I don't know who Leroy
Thank you.
you know. Oh god.
All right. Well,
90s stuff, huh?
yeah.
Snoogans.
So I don't want to guess yet because I haven't tried the other ones.
No, no, I'm my version is to figure out which one I like best, then just line them up, and then I take random guesses because
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
like, nah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna know.
that's.
Like I haven't had Buffalo Trace or the Bowmans in months at this point, so
And this has been open, but not long for 6 months or something.
not even.
It's half full or
It's like three
more.
months maybe.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Well,
one.
we've only been doing it 6 months, so yeah,
Right.
3, 4 months.
So
This one we just opened. This one he just opened. So these are
brand
brand
spanking.
new pops. We popped those corks today. So
I don't even think we've done. Oh yes, in order to pour them, we had to have popped them. Derp.
yeah. I don't get a lot of derps. I just don't. Yeah, yeah, that's weird. So 90s. To me, the 90s reminds me of Friends. Like, and growing up, I was growing up in the 90s.
And then there was Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, yep. He's one of my favorite stand-ups. He's still to this day.
And what's the deal with those little bottles on planes?
Jim, he thinks it through. So he's got a famous picture of himself sitting on a street, like in the middle of a street, and the entire street in front of him and behind him is just his notes that he takes to do stand-up.
Really?
And it's just covered in them, and it's obviously was on a set because
Yeah.
Dry Wind would have taken it, but it's he just spent so much time.
Interesting.
Dave Chappelle has a bowl. He calls it his fish bowl on his desk, and he just leaves a fish bowl full of punchlines. And he says, when I get bored sometimes, or I'm trying to figure stuff out or learn, or I need to mess with my brain, I just reach in, pull out a punchline, and then try to make a joke to match it. You know, like
Interesting.
some of those comedians are just that. To me, that's
Well,
just
that's their job, so they have to put time and effort into that.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. But it's cool, you know. They're
Yes.
mailing it in. They're like
Really trying.
yeah, yeah. Which it really shows up in their work because if you watch Seinfeld or Chappelle, you know that they're not just mailing it in with cheesy jokes and stuff. Like they're just not. You can tell they do their research.
Did
And
you
that's
see someone attack Chappelle?
yeah, yeah. And you know what else? He'll probably just get more specials and he'll
Oh
get
yeah.
more money because of it. He's a great comedian,
Yep.
you know, regardless of how you feel about it.
Apparently, someone doesn't feel very strongly about him being
No, no,
good at all.
apparently not. He makes a lot. I mean, a lot of his jokes are kind of controversial in ways, I guess.
That's
This
what
day and
comedy
age,
is.
yeah,
Like if you're offended by comedy, don't go to a comedy show. Like, duh.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Just
Uh,
anyway, nonetheless.
round two.
Yeah. Where are you going? You're going down the middle, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
left to right, man.
Going down the middle. Right.
Straight down it. Right in the middle. This is our middle and your middle. So
I'm going in for the sip because I feel it's more body to this. And now again, we don't know.
yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know what
know.
he's drinking. He doesn't know what I'm drinking.
I don't know.
Not right now.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
not,
could tell. I could know if I
I
look
I
back.
can know too, but I'm not gonna. But
Right.
this is interesting. This is not nearly as sweet as the first sip on that.
This one tastes
There's
like it
more
has more
notes to
body.
this.
Like it has more something going on. Like this one does. And to be fair, this says sour mash, but
Mhm.
from what I've been heard, that all major distilleries use sour mash. As a matter of fact, the only sweet one I know of is Walking Trail. The sweet mash.
Oh, Dickel didn't have one.
I maybe I don't know. He said well, I think the comment was all the major Kentucky bourbon distillers use sour mash
Interesting.
because sweet mash is harder to
More
do,
expensive.
costs more
Yeah.
money, has a higher chance of bacterial infections or a bacterial what
You're
would be the
gonna have a
word?
bad time.
Yeah, bacterial
Growth.
concerns. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
This one feels more body to me. I feel like if it was a proof, it went from say 80 to 90 or something like that. It has a, but then again, that might not be true either because there's not a lot of weekend to Bernie's going on.
I'm getting
So
almost like a very woody, almost like
mm,
a cardboardy kind of taste in this one.
you have to kill them, Vito. Bernie, we don't do that anymore. We're in real estate.
Isn't that 80s?
I don't know.
Weekend
89.
Weekend at Bernie's.
It's 89. This is 90 and 91. We're right.
You need like Ghostbusters 2 to get into the 90s.
Ghostbusters 2 was in the 90s.
Yeah, it's 91.
My
Ghostbusters 1 was in like 88 or something, 89.
I think Ghostbusters 1 is 84.
No.
Yeah. That's my guess. I'm guessing here. I'm not.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. I'm
I
guessing.
hate to do this.
Okay.
We're gonna check it out immediately.
That's fine. We're talking about movies. Who cares?
That's right.
Like we're not talking. We're not screwing up what we're doing here, bourbon wise. So
Okay.
I'm guessing 84.
That's 84.
I don't know. You can be happy. I don't get anything right. That's not true. We guess random
done,
shit,
sir.
right?
Well done.
What? I'm old. I'm older than you. I should know the older stuff. But you were born in '84, were you?
No.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I was born after 84.
Right, but I was 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. And Ghostbusters was it was just wow. So have you seen the most recent one? Have you seen Afterlife?
I haven't, but I've heard good things.
Oh my God, it almost brought me to tears at the end.
Oh,
It was that close. Yeah. And if you love Ghostbusters,
I do.
did you like the female led one?
No.
No, I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. Like the humor was kind of funny. Like when they played off, like they used Thor as a ditch hole.
The secretary of
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's always like the strong guy. And he's
Yeah.
smart and he's put together. Well,
And then they had like the cameos of the OG Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a money grab.
Yeah.
No, this is not. This isn't moving for me.
Awful. It wasn't. The newer one was better
Yeah,
because it's the Afterlife. I think you'll like
I'll probably
Afterlife.
enjoy it. I mean, it's got Paul Rudd. How could
Yeah,
he not?
yeah. It's got Paul Rudd. It brings back a lot of the original creatures and
Mhm.
stuff. So anyway,
So number
number
three.
three. Yeah,
Yeah, this
absolutely.
is your left, our right. Here
That's
we
right.
go for the 100th time.
That's right.
I think my right is your center because when you're saying more body,
My mind just blew out my ears because he's.
so you claim that that one had the most body.
Well, I claimed that this one had more body than this one, but I haven't
Yes.
tasted this one.
Okay.
So, in fairness. But yeah, this
Well,
one felt
that
more.
was exactly my thought too. Is that this one was more a little more viscous, almost like it had a silkier, a more breathy, like I don't know,
Hmm,
it's
more velvety.
more body is the way to express that. And so when you said that, it clicked immediately as soon as I had this in my mouth.
Hmm. I'm going back through now and like doing my third sort of run through sips.
This one's definitely got some sweet corn to it. Hmm.
Well, I would have to. I mean, I think I know which one I would say right now is the one I like the best. I might do this. I'm doing the thing. I don't know how you're doing your thing, but I'm kind of going back and around and just,
Yeah, you do what you gotta do,
you
man.
know what I mean? There you go. That's what bourbon's all about too, and whiskeys and scotches. If that's what you're into, drink it up, man. Cheers.
So I don't hate any of them,
Mm-mm. Nope, me neither.
but
Nor do I, sir. Nor do
some there's a taste or a grain or something in these two specifically that gives me like a woody, cardboardy kind of taste that I'm not a huge fan of. But it goes away after like the first or second sip.
I. Right on. Right
So
on.
once you numb your tongue, like
Me. I just cleanse my palate a little to take one last sip
yep.
before I make my final decision as far as where I really think it goes.
Ooh,
And you know what? I'm gonna try to. I kind of this is just coming to me to a degree. Like I like the idea of going through it, and then kind of we sit here and we're kind of figuring it out together, what we're
mhm.
thinking, what he's when I. But I like the idea of leaving just a hair, just another little sip of each one. So when we're done, I can be like, seriously, that's that. Like I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, nonetheless, yeah. So I don't know the right one. I always feel like
Okay. So one of these things is not like the other. So if I had to make a guess, I'd guess that my left one is the one that says whiskey on it
oh,
because it's
I don't
the
even have it
charcoal
open, so I don't
filter.
know yet.
That would be my guess.
Right.
And then these two, it's a toss up.
Well, which one do you like the most? If you had to pick one right now and say, I'd probably buy a
See,
bottle of this.
that's just it. All of these are so like close together as far as like they have different flavor profiles. These two are actually kind of similar,
Yeah.
which leads me to believe that they're these two if they're both the same grains.
Right.
Um, and so these two are hard to pick between because I honestly couldn't tell you which is which.
Right.
They're very similar.
And if this comes from this distillery and this is 90 and this is 90,
Right, that's what I'm getting at. Is like
I don't know that there's any
so this one had more body than this one, which is interesting.
produced by A. Smith Bowman Distillery, but produced. So, which is, so it doesn't say distilled, which is kind of the thing. But most anywhere says that they get their stuff or have gotten their stuff from Buffalo Trace. So,
So if I had to pick one that was my favorite, I'd probably go for this one, even though there's a little bit more burn to this, but
right.
it's also got more of a body than the other one, so it feels a little bit better in your mouth.
I like the. I think I'm kind of in the middle, and I mean that I'm like saying I think the middle one is the one I think I like the most as
That's
far
kind
as
of funny
just
because I
liking.
have a sneaking suspicion that your middle is the same as my right, which is the one I chose.
The one you chose for your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, and I did the thing I wasn't gonna do, but
But
it's
you
okay.
did it anyway.
I know, right?
It's just
Damn
Marvin.
it! I'm telling you, it sucks.
So, all right. So big
Snooze.
reveal, or
Um, sure. So I said the middle was my favorite,
okay?
and it's gone. You said your far right was your favorite.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to see which ones those are, or do we want to line them up the other two also, like first?
Uh,
Before, because if we
mm,
don't do it before we reveal the other one, then we might. I don't know.
I
Your
think
second favorite.
I don't know.
How's that? You know.
I don't know. It
It
was hard enough to pick a favorite, like because they're all so close in proximity to each other.
might be tough. we've been doing this less than a year,
Mhm.
and we've only been doing blinds less than a couple months, and now we're doing it with three that are so similar in proof, and then the one
One
like
of these things is not like the other because it's
yeah,
charcoal filtered or whatever.
yeah, but again, so I didn't, and I always tell you guys my palate's probably worse than his. I think I'm still trying. I'm not great at. I feel like they all tasted the same, and one was just a
Very
little
similar.
more
Yeah. Which is why
this
I'm
or that,
guessing that
and I can't
my
get the this or that.
my far left, I'm guessing, is the one that says whiskey, not bourbon, just because it tastes a little bit more different than these two.
So your far right was your favorite.
My far right was my favorite. So
Okay.
your left, this one here,
Okay. Well, you guys,
yes.
yeah.
I'm trying to help out.
um, this the center's my favorite. So what's my center?
Your center is green beer,
Greenbrier.
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 Wow, I've been drinking, guys.
Greenbrier, I just picked over the other two. Barely, but
Greenbrier.
this is so
That's interesting. I'm really curious to know what my far right is.
your far right is hold on, I'm trying to remember. Nelson Greenbrier.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
We both picked Greenbrier.
I figured they were the same when you said that was more fuller body. This was more fuller body.
I put initials and it said NG and I was like, what the hell's NG? Oh wait, Neil Nelson Greenbrier. Yeah.
Interesting.
We're so
Not good.
professional. We're
Not the
so
Greenbrier, not good.
professional.
Interesting.
We
So
just picked it.
we did.
You
That's
made me.
funny. I guess I was very wrong. This one's more fuller bodied than Buffalo Trace. That's interesting.
Well, does that would I don't know anything about charcoal filtration, what that means, mellowing. I've heard the word mellowing a lot with charcoal filtration.
Hmm.
The term mellowing word, whatever.
But I mean,
Anyway,
again, none of these are gonna be my favorite.
my heart will go on,
Like
so
if
that'll be
I had
fine.
the options between this and an Eagle Rare or a Colonel Taylor, I'm gonna pick the Eagle Rare or Colonel Taylor every day.
This might be as good as it gets.
But
So,
yeah, so I mean, that's interesting. So what else we got? So what was so
what's your next favorite? You gotta pick one. You just got to.
the
You
middle?
do it. In the middle for you. I'm
Sure.
gonna. All right. Hmm. Dead air.
I was just curious to know what you're thinking.
Well, I'm trying to think which one. So my second favorite would be the left, all the way to the left. And yours is what?
The middle.
The middle. All right. Now you revealed mine first last time. I'll reveal your first this time. Yours is the middle, and that's the next favorite.
Hmm.
What's your guess that what it is? Is it? Do you want to do that or no?
Sure. I'm
Okay.
gonna guess it's Buffalo Trace.
And you're absolutely right. He guessed
Okay.
Buffalo Trace.
And so what's your guess for
So for the far left,
I thought it was your middle.
no, my far left is my second. My
Okay.
middle was my first.
Your middle was your first.
Yeah, my one I would buy the book first was in the middle.
Oh.
That was that Nelson Greenbrier?
No, it wasn't. That was Buffalo Trace.
Oh shit! So
Honestly, my bad.
you threw that all crazy.
I did. I
This
made that
is
real bad.
curveballs all over
So
the
I
place.
picked Greenbrier as my favorite, and then Buffalo Trace is my second. You picked Buffalo Trace as your favorite, and then your far left was Bowman.
Okay, so I picked Buffalo Trace Bowman and put Greenbrier in the back,
You did.
and you picked Greenbrier. What was your second?
Buffalo Trace, and then Bowman was my least.
Least was the left. Yeah,
Yeah.
was Bowman. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there, just because
Wow.
I don't know. Again, I was
Buffalo Trace.
I was very hard pressed to distinguish differences between these at the beginning.
And you're not a fan.
And I'm not a fan of these either. Like I told you, I tasted like that cardboardy kind of taste in these two,
Right.
and it's not an
What's
enjoyable
the
thing.
one, now that we know what they are, that you didn't taste the cardboardy taste?
That would have been
The
the
far
far
left.
left, which is the Bowman.
Yeah. No, okay. So is there any, and not is there like we're all of a sudden this, but like, is there any reason to believe that maybe this one, because it had been open,
Maybe it
and these
is.
two weren't? I don't know. That's the only thing that's really a lot of difference to it. I mean,
Maybe.
you got charcoal, but you got two open pops, and you got a 1 point proof difference.
And yeah, it was very hard for me to distinguish between these two, which are these two. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's very educational.
Mhm.
Like it's
Yeah.
very fun to try to figure this kind of stuff out and know what we're doing and so on and so forth. So yeah, I don't know, man. But you know what? I'm gonna keep finishing it because why not?
Well, we're gonna let them do that. But in the meantime, everyone, hope you're enjoying yourself. Have a great summer. And I'm Neat.
I'm Rob.
And this has been The Bourbon Barrel.